Okay, we're going to start finding values and laying in values into the top lid up here, the lip of the glass. And I'm going to work kind of slowly, building up layers, trying to match it to the photograph resource. If you're noticing that this lid looks a little different, I have already done this once, and somehow that video got lost. So I came back to make sure that we can show you how to put the value in. So if you notice a difference in the next picture that we work with on the reflections, feel free to adjust and change to match that one as well. But anyway, so right now what I'm doing is starting to find areas that maybe have some shading that I haven't found before. Enhance some areas. This area right here gets darker than the area beside it, so I want to start to blend that out from, I think there's a little water edge right there that's making some of the edge rounded. There's another one on the other side too that does the same thing, but it creates some shading coming away from it. Then here I'm starting to try to blend that slowly with my pencil out. I want to avoid those streaks. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to avoid streaking. But one of the ways is to put your pencil on its side and shade with the pencil. You don't want to use a mechanical. A mechanical pencil is going to cause a lot more problems because of the streaking. Now you could use the mechanical for the first part of the sketching of the contour. You could have done that. But once we start putting value in, you want a pencil that can lay down on its side and be able to shade. And I'm kind of working over that area. I want to identify that area but not make it too obvious because it's a highlight. And then later on we're going to blend it and then erase back into it. But I'm starting to find there's a lot of different shadows inside the lip of this cup or this glass. So a lot of different stuff is happening, more stuff than you would think. So instead of trying to draw what we think is happening, we're going to try and draw those weird nooks and crannies that we're seeing. Just putting in a little bit of extra value. We're going to add to this one later. So I don't want to get too picky with it, but I just want to kind of identify where some of the shadings are. As we go, because this is a sketch, as we go we get what we call a little bit more detail. This is not a mechanical drawing, so we want it to have some life about it. We want the line to look kind of lively. It's more of a sketch, and the more we go into the drawing, the more we kind of tighten down on what edges do. It communicates more about the edges. But for right now, I'm going to kind of leave it at this point, and then I'll come back in later videos and rework what's there. Just kind of looking at the resource and seeing what other details we need to put into it. I see a little highlight on this lip. It's going to be a lot easier to do that when we get our background value in, which will probably come in the next video, because comparing lights and darks makes it a lot easier to be able to find those edges. There's a little bit, this edge is not pure white, so I want to put just a little bit of a gray tone, and then there's a little bit of a rim as it moves around, but it doesn't just continue. Like, it's not one continual line. It kind of has some thicks and thins. So I'm just trying to kind of get the feel for all of the light and dark that's happening within that cup or that glass. Later I'm going to blend this later, so I'm not going to worry about it too much right now, but I'll blend that area. I'm using my eraser to kind of detail and clean up, just kind of getting picky with it. It's like get jiggy with it, but less dancing. And again, that area right there is not pure white, so I'm just going to kind of make it a little bit of a gray tone. that should take us into our next drawing where we can start putting in a little bit more value into the background.